WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. Today, MEMA gets a glimpse of the devastation in Hamilton. Dozens of homes and businesses damaged or destroyed. Tonight, EMA Director Donna Sanderson gives us an update on the process of rebuilding.
We are nowhere near through. We'll be working all day tomorrow.
The sunshine paints a clear picture of the horrific scene in Hamilton and nearby areas.
Hamilton was hit real hard, but we got debris scattered all the way up to the Itawamba, Alabama County line. I'm talking about major debris.
As neighbors help neighbors cut up trees and pick up broken memories, the real work starts. Monroe County Road Manager Sonny Clay is asking residents to begin moving debris to the edge of the road.
We do think that we will be able to get all debris, whether it comes off a private landowner or whether it was on our right of way to begin with, picked up. It may be 4 to 6 weeks before that happens, so we want the people to be patient with us because we've got to go through this federal declaration. Even if Mississippi requests one, and we got to wait on the president to sign off on it. So, and then we'll have to advertise that project. So we could be 4 to 6 weeks down the road, and maybe even a little longer before any of that debris is picked up.
With the threat of more storms, Clay says there are a few things to remember.
Don't cover up your drainage ditches. We got some major rain, I think, forecast for Thursday.
Emergency management has also set up a disaster hotline for folks who may need assistance. The Abundant Life Pentecostal Church is also open as a shelter. 48 hours after the twister, EMA Director Donna Sanderson says she already sees a huge improvement.
Monroe County it's come a long way today. When I went out this afternoon, it was just amazed how much difference it was in yesterday morning and this afternoon.
About that debris, Clay does want to point out if you have already hired a private contractor, they're not sure yet if the county will be allowed to pick up debris moved by the private contractors. A couple of other notes, the city curfew is still in place. Also, the Monroe County School District announcing classes will resume tomorrow. A Hamilton Tornado Relief Fund is also open at the Ampot Federal Union. That's if you'd like to make any type of money donation. Also, if you're donating any supplies, you can drop them off at the Hamilton Baptist Church. Folks in Amory are teaming up to help their neighbors there in Hamilton. Renaissance Bank in Amory is taking donations of cleaning supplies, toiletries, bottled water, and other items for Hamilton residents. Renaissance Smithville office, you may remember, was destroyed in the 2011 tornado. The bank will take donations to Amory's fire station, and those items will be combined with donations being collected at City Hall. Amory's mayor, city utility workers are working to help restore power there in Hamilton.
Anything that our community can do to alleviate the time that it takes to get that power restored, especially to those people that have medical reasons or needs that require electricity. We're very fortunate to have power associations in our area that help one another out.
Renaissance Bank and City Hall will accept donations through Thursday. Anyone wanting to drop off items on Good Friday, you can take those to the Amory Fire Station. Time now to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson to get a first look at our Monday night forecast. Hey there, Keith.
Scott, we have some great weather coming for our Tuesday, probably Wednesday too. More storms in the forecast for Thursday. Some of those could be on the hefty side. But nice weather returns for your Easter weekend, and we may be flirting with 80 again by Easter Sunday. Right now, cooling on down into the 50s in many spots. The sky basically clear across the entire region all day long, and really right now. Tonight, down into the 40s, so a few more degrees for tomorrow. A cool start, but back in the low 70s by noon, pushing 80 in the afternoon. All the details on that next system, Scott, in just a few minutes.
A federal legal opinion is putting every state lottery in jeopardy, but until there are official changes, it's business as usual for Mississippi's Lottery Corporation. Courtney Ann Jackson has the latest.
The Department of Justice is reconsidering what types of gambling the Federal Wire Act applies to. But why?
What those seek that are really pushing this sort of technical application of the Wire Act is to eliminate so-called internet-based sports betting.
But as vice chairman of the Mississippi Lottery Corporation Board explains, now there's more of a microscope on more than just sports betting. Other types cross state lines, especially with the use of technology.
The challenge is that the DOJ issued an opinion that could potentially extend the application of that to state lotteries. And if that were the case, it theoretically could shut down all the state lotteries.
Attorney General Jim Hood signed off on a letter to the DOJ with other AGs in an attempt to protect state lotteries. He also said in his statement this change could potentially have devastating consequences for the lottery Mississippi has finally established. Many national and international companies operate in our state, and this reversal creates confusion for state regulators to determine if the companies comply with the Wire Act. Attorneys told the board the matter is likely to go to the Supreme Court, but until there's a final answer, the board continues to press forward. Monday, they heard from 2 banks vying to provide banking services for the Lottery Corporation. They'll make a final selection next week, and they'll conduct interviews and make a decision on a corporation president on April 29th. As for the timeline on being able to buy tickets,
we still believe that we will be selling tickets by the end of the 3rd quarter, sometime in the 4th quarter.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Patrick Miller is stepping down from city government. The Starkville Ward 5 alderman, he resigned today. His resignation takes effect immediately. Miller has accepted a position out of town. Now, he will finish this semester as an instructor in the Extension Department at Mississippi State. Miller focuses his work on city governments along with community and leadership development. Starkville Mayor Lynn Spruill says the Board of Aldermen will discuss a special election at Tuesday's board meeting. Tupelo police looking for answers after a possible shooting early Sunday morning. Just before 1 a.m., Tupelo PD went to the Econo Lodge on Mississippi Drive, where a man was found with a gunshot wound to his leg. The man is at North Mississippi Medical Center for treatment. Early investigation indicates that the shooting is possibly related to illegal drugs. If you have any information on the case, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers of Northeast Mississippi. It's a story that has been getting worldwide attention. One of the world's best known buildings, the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris, is nearly destroyed by a fire. Now, the cause is still unknown, but investigators do not suspect it was arson. CBS's Roxana Sabiri reports from Paris.
A fast-moving fire reduced much of Paris's Notre Dame Cathedral to ashes on Monday, but tonight the landmark is still standing. The flames were first spotted near the top of the building. They quickly spread across the roof and upper structures and eventually engulfed its iconic spire. After it collapsed, firefighters feared the 800-year-old cathedral would be completely destroyed. Officials later said its walls and 2 main towers had been salvaged. The interior is believed to have been gutted, but not before some of the precious artwork inside was removed. The fire happened close to closing time when most of Notre Dame's daily 30,000 visitors had already left, so it could have been much worse. Crowds of Parisians and tourists gathered to watch the disaster as it unfolded. Some prayed while others sang hymns.
Notre Dame is not just a building, it's the beating heart of Paris.
Among those at the scene of the fire was French President Emmanuel Macron. He declared it a national emergency and vowed that Notre Dame would one day be rebuilt. Roxana Saberi, CBS News, Paris.
Investigators suspect the fire may be connected to renovation work that was being done in the upper levels of the cathedral.
Good yard work weather for Tuesday. Lots of sunshine, comfortable temperatures, upper 70s by the afternoon. You may want to mow the yard because it is growing. We have more rain on the way, and that means the grass will keep on growing. Details are next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
10:13 on our Monday evening, all quiet out there. Current temperatures in the 50s, so we are cooling things down. We topped out today in the low 70s. Back into the upper 70s on Tuesday, mostly sunny, warming things up a little bit. Southerly winds return at about 5 to 15. Maybe around 80 in Tupelo, 78 in Aberdeen. Farther south in the Golden Triangle area, guess what? Upper 70s to around 80. And same story here in the West Alabama too. Lots of sun, upper 70s to around 80 degrees. So that is tomorrow around here. Mid 70s over there in Atlanta, pushing 80 in New Orleans. A few more clouds back over here into Oklahoma and Dallas. And we will see some more clouds as we get into your Wednesday. Storms, though, Thursday, all modes of severe weather still on the table. We know the drill here. Another episode of active weather that would include a tornado threat. So we can't let down our guard just yet. We'll have more fine-tuned details later this week. Several inches of additional rainfall certainly possible. If nothing else, more rain is on the way. This model is suggesting 1 to 4 plus, so let's just say anywhere from about 1 to 3 is a pretty good guesstimate at this point. Now, after the event on Friday afternoon at Durham's Pharmacy, we are programming weather radio, so stop on by 3:30 to 5:30. And just to let you know, we are coming to Columbus at Kroger very, very soon. We hope to have the exact date and time very, very soon for you. More energy here across the Pacific Northwest. There's San Francisco, and that little dip right there is coming our way. This upper level energy will really get more elongated and more energized, and that means some active weather for us. So high pressure will be on the way out starting tomorrow. More of a southerly breeze, and notice we may see some high, thin cirrus clouds. Nothing to worry about. A few more clouds on Wednesday. We should remain dry. As storms start to erupt out there across the high plains, that will be our activity. Now, initially, Wednesday night and Thursday morning, there could be a pretty good squall line back to our west. That's probably going to weaken before it gets here. But by late Thursday morning into Thursday afternoon, we do expect to see another round energize here, and that would be the batch. That would be some strong or severe activity for us with some lingering showers for Friday. Pretty warm for the next few days, around 80 degrees, 70s with those active storms on Thursday. Cool on Friday, maybe only 60. 69 Saturday, pushing 80 though by Easter Sunday.
Coming up a little later in sports, Courtney checks in on the Rebels and the Diamond Dogs at the baseball season halfway mark.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. Spring is a beautiful time of year in Mississippi and Alabama, but those same flowers and trees that beautify the landscape can wreak havoc on your health. We take a look at spring allergies in tonight's Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Justin Garner, and I'm part of the otolaryngology team at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. I want to talk to you about spring allergies, and it all begins with exposure. Even if you've inhaled an allergen many times before with no trouble, at some point, for some reason, the body flags it as an invader. During this particular exposure, the immune system studies the allergen and gets ready for the next exposure by developing special cells called antibodies designed to detect the allergen in the future. You're now sensitized to the allergen. Then, the next time your body is exposed to the allergen, your immune system kicks into action. The antibodies recognize it, and your body goes to work fighting off the invader by flooding your body with chemicals such as histamine. This is what produces your allergy symptoms. Keep in mind that the amount of exposure matters. There's a threshold or tipping point for people with allergies. You can handle some exposure, but if it gets to be too much, the immune system is triggered to attack. Some people, most often children, may outgrow an allergy completely. For others, their symptoms get worse as they get older and the immune system gets weaker. But once you have an allergy, it doesn't go away on its own. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, and we'll discuss some of the worst allergen triggers.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
One half of the regular season down and another half to go. The Diamond Dogs continue to rank high in the conference. More on state success coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Well, the conclusion of the weekend marks the halfway point for the SEC baseball season. A quick Recap from the weekend, Mississippi State got their first SEC sweep. A 13-3 victory from Sunday's game sealed the clean weekend for the Diamond Dogs, whereas Ole Miss dropped its series to Kentucky 2-1 in Sunday's doubleheader. It's unfortunate for the Rebels, considering that Kentucky only has 4 conference wins now, 2 of those coming from Ole Miss, so will probably come back and bite them come postseason, but it ended up benefiting Mississippi State as of yesterday. The halfway mark, here's a look at the SEC standings. Mississippi State sits first in the West with a 10-5 conference record, a 31-6 overall record as well. Meanwhile, you have Texas A&M, Arkansas, Ole Miss, and LSU all at roughly 9-6, just saying roughly due to that one tie game that Texas A&M has. The Bulldogs are now tied for first in the SEC overall and look ahead to the second half of the regular season.
It was a good first half, but nobody's going to remember first half if you don't have a good second half. So we're going to come out, big sweep this weekend, and play Texas Southern and play them hard, hopefully beat them and have some momentum going to Arkansas this weekend or next weekend.
We want to win every game we go out there and play, and I think those guys know that. I mean, everybody in the dugout, we're getting after it every day, and we're going to go out there and compete every day and give it our best.
The LSU series weren't great, so I think those 2 games, but everywhere else we've been pretty good. And I think when you see what Tennessee did this weekend, I thought we were pretty good at Tennessee also, the way we swung it against some really good arms. So we've been pretty consistent. We had 2 down games there at LSU that we weren't happy with, but for the most part, our offense has come and produced.
In D1 Baseball's most recent top 25 poll, Mississippi State jumping 3 spots to number 3, and Ole Miss drops down to number 15 following that weekend loss to Kentucky. One Louisville High School student isn't ready to hang up his bat just yet. Shamar Eland, a 3-sport athlete for the Wildcats, is continuing on with Holmes Community College. In his career as a Power Cat, Shamar has played 67 games with a .294 batting average, 47 total runs, 37 RBIs, and even had a home run this past season. Shamar saying that he's appreciative for the opportunity and looking forward to improving his game.
Man, I feel good. I feel real good about the opportunity Holmes gave me, and I'm gonna make the best out of it. Best part, I mean, my hitting wise and my speed, and I just need to work on going to field ground balls, attacking more on it.
Shamar's come out, and since I know he was in junior high, he's come out and worked hard. He's really put in the time, and that's what it takes, to get to the next level of playing college ball.
Speaking of moving on up, ICC sophomore Cortavius Ivy signed to continue his football career. The defensive lineman is headed to East Central University. In Ivy's 15 games played with the Indians, he's recorded 24 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 1.5 sacks. And the Amory native is grateful to have this opportunity.
It feels really good to be able to, continue your education and to be able to play at that next level, because don't too many kids really get that opportunity. And I'm really blessed to have had that opportunity to further my football career and education career as well.
Been a really good player for us for the last 2 years, and done a whole bunch for our team, and brought a lot of work ethic and character to our football team. And having a chance to go on and continue his football career is something special for a junior college player, and we wish him nothing but the best.
Well, what better way to fuel D1 football players than with a protein-heavy meal? The Crimson Tide held its annual steak and beans dinner that's held after the spring game. Players were served white bread, beanies, and weenies, plenty of veggies, and of course, steak and beans. The entire team, including head coach Nick Saban, were chowing down together, him being all happy with his players. And after the meal was over, most people like dessert, but Alabama, they like their bling. Players received their title rings from the team's SEC championship victory at the end of the dinner. That's it for sports. The last look at your weather is coming up after the break. Stick with us.
Some pretty nice weather for your Tuesday and Wednesday. Clouds will be on the increase, though. Wednesday, we should stay dry. A chance for showers and storms Thursday. Some could be hefty. More on that in the coming days. Cooler Friday. Your Easter weekend is looking great at this time. And the Easter Bunny will be probably hopping mad with the fact that we'll be 80 a lot of that chocolate's going to melt, so eat it fast.
You know, usually I feel like Easter it always rains or something, but I'm liking
Not
this
this
Easter
year.
forecast. I'm liking it. Thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.